Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Chris Milligan on Another Side of Midnight with Walter Sterling. This man has the stories. He knows the secrets. He's aware of everything from skull and bones to the rest of it. Now, Chris, your dad left the CIA in 1959, and he didn't like what he saw. What did your dad tell you about Vietnam and drugs as well as secret societies? What did he tell you?
Well, he first off, he left him soft in 57, hard in 59, and he took me into a room in 1969 with a professor from Vanderbilt, and the words out of his mouth was, "The Vietnam War is about drugs. There's these secret societies behind it," you know. And I'm a 19, almost 20-year-old kid, and I'm thinking, okay, Dad's talking about the mafia. And then he says, and communism's all a sham. These same secret societies are behind it all. It's all a big game, which completely blew me away. I mean, I'd been stuffed under the desk because the Ruskies were going to bomb us, and so that just didn't compute. And I kind of thought my daddy was nuts. And then they started telling me all about my dad's intelligence career, which had never been mentioned before in the house. And he had started off as an 18-year-old kid as an exchange student to China in the 30s.
And after he told you this about Vietnam and drugs, tell me a little bit more about what you learned. What kind of drugs? Why was it tied up with drugs? How did that get to be an issue?
Well, it's because, he just mentioned secret societies. He didn't mention a name, and it took me a while to figure out that basically one of the main ones he was talking about was Skull and Bones. And if you look at Skull and Bones, it was founded by William Huntington Russell and Alonzo Taft. And William Huntington Russell, he was the scion of a family company called Russell and Company, which was the third largest opium smuggler in the world at the time and the largest in America. And the drugs, why? Because when they're illegal, you're selling plants sometimes for more than gold, and it creates a huge amount of money, which then allows you to corrupt institutions and to corrupt people.
How much are we talking about with the heroin? Is that the prime economic driver of the Vietnam War? And I'm so naive about this. I've never even smoked grass. Is heroin, is that drug grown in Vietnam?
Well, it was the Golden Triangle, okay, that was up Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Chinese border area, okay, up in the mountains, okay, because you can do whatever you want in the mountains until somebody with a gun comes up there and says, hey, don't do that. And, I mean, it's quite a long story, but opium became one of the largest commodities on the planet in the 1800s and has rarely left it. Now, today, they're getting a lot of the people that, would normally be using heroin. They're using, what's that new one?
Fentanyl.
Fentanyl, yes, fentanyl, and these secret societies, especially Skull and Bones, really got their hooks into our government during the Spanish-American War.
All right, so wait, but I don't want to go back to the Spanish-American War. Let's go to today with Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones, tell us how that originates and how does it impact me today?
Well, how does it affect us today? These secret societies are able to what I've found out through my research is we have a secret societal level. Your next solid level is the sovereign countries. And then in between the secret societal level and the sovereign countries, you have intelligence agencies, criminal gangs, religious organizations, fraternal organizations that are able to use their members from the secret societal level to get into the sovereign countries, to get us into war, get us into debt, all kinds of situations. I mean, look what's going on today. You know,
Chris Mulligan, are you talking about the Bush family? They were all in Skull and Bones. Are you talking about them and John Kerry? Were they all in the Skull and Bones? Is that how that starts?
That's yes. That's part of it. I mean, we're going through a time here of a paradigm shift where things are starting to change. And there's a very good book called Generations: History of America's Future. There's another one called Fourth Turning that talks about this time. And one thing the secret societies try and do is to make sure that they go through this paradigm shift and land on their feet. And so we've got a real mess here in the world today. And you know, the secret societies, one thing that they have used is this honey trap method. Okay, where you have between the criminal gangs and the intelligence agencies, they work together to use blackmail to control the situation. So
Epstein.
Yeah. I mean,
how do they? Wait. Tell me how they do that, because these are really rich people who could get laid no problem. How do they get honey trapped?
Well, here's how a honey trap operates. First off, you have to have some bait. Young boys, young girls, whatever. Okay. Then you need to have a room that's wired. Okay. And then you need to have a manager. Okay. And the manager is going to want security. So it's quite a wild operation. They've been going on for quite a while. Okay. And once they get somebody trapped in there, there's not. They have to do what they say, and these same people that worked up the honey traps. The thing that we found, I put out a book called One Nation Under Blackmail by Whitney Webb, and in volume 2 of that, they show how the same people that were setting up these honey traps, basically they said, wait a minute, you know, all we have to do now is to hack into somebody's cell phone, okay? Because if they can hack into somebody's cell phone, they have a pretty good idea of what that person wants to do. Okay, so it's an insidious situation that we have found ourselves in, and here's how the secret societies run the world. It's a leviathan of 3 levels. The top level is mining metal and money. Okay, I had an author that could affect that. I got his book out called Calling All Angels. He was run over by a hit-and-run lorry in London 7 days after the book came out. The next level is drugs, guns, and oil. It's a very active level. It's where they create a lot of money to corrupt things. It was actually people from Skull and Bones that sent Drake to Pennsylvania to do the first oil well. And then where this meets the road is it's media. They've got to control the media, you know, the narrative, and then it's movies / music because they've got to control the culture. It'll bite them. And then the very last one is quote-unquote magic, the ability to hoodwink us and their preponderance on using mass trauma rituals to keep us in line. Such as the Kennedy assassination and 9/11. At their core, they are mass trauma rituals directed against American people, because the main thing that they're trying to stop is government of and by and for the people. they would rather have an authoritarian type government, and so
Chris
that's
Milligan,
kind of where we find ourselves today.
Chris Milligan, how successful are they with all these initiatives at controlling us? How successful are they, or how far away are they?
They've generally been, about 80% successful. I mean, we're pretty stiff-necked people, and so and not everybody is susceptible to their propaganda, but they've been fairly successful. Okay, they've taken our people into quite a bit of wars. I mean, you follow the American military, and you find that where they're going is where the drug trade is, like in Vietnam. Okay, you had the Golden Triangle, and then we went into the Balkans, and if you look at literature about the drug trade, generally the Balkans were anywhere from number 3 to 6 in producing of opium, because again they're a mountainous area. And then we went to Afghanistan and controlled the drug trade there for a while. But then. Yeah, the drug trade, they also move it around because, again, at the top level of these secret societies, they don't really care about the sovereign countries, and they will bust out their own country, okay, if it behooves them to continue the secret societal goals, their goals that they're looking to attain, which is, one world government, if you want to call it that, or a technate of 3 basic government forms on the planet.
All right, Chris Milligan, explaining conspiracies, skull and bones, the real society, who controls our world. Thank you very, very much, Chris, for being on Another Side of Midnight with Walter Sterling. Thank you.